everybody. So if longtime fans of the channel know, I'm trying to collect every LEGO Star Wars minifigure ever made. But that means that oftentimes I just buy a bunch of minifigures and I never use them. They just get thrown up on the wall and then that's where they remain. So I like to do every now and then use a random number generator going from 1 all the way to like 13, 1400. I get it all mapped out. Use a random number generator to pick a random minifigure on the wall and make a little bit of a mock, a little bit of a vignette for them to be in. So I like to have a little bit of fun with this. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. All right, so right here I've got my random number generator. I just Googled it. We got 1 to 1,445. And each number pertains to a spot on the wall, but obviously not every spot has a minifigure because I'm still collecting them all. So if we end up randomly drawing a blank, then I just go to the closest minifigure. So let's see what we get. First one, 821, 1,077, and 1222. Let's go see which we got. Alrighty, 821 is this Rogue One Shore Trooper. Alright, 1,077 is actually this blank spot, so I have the choice between these two guys, and I think I'll go with the Clatoonian Raider. I think that'd be a more fun mock to do than Admiral Pride there. Then 1222 is actually a Darth Vader, so there's definitely a lot of scenes I can do with this. I have some ideas, so let's hop right into it. All right, so here are the 3 guys that we got randomly selected to build mocks for. On the left here, we have what Bricklink and LEGO refers to as the Scarif Stormtrooper, but obviously it is the Shore Trooper. He's the captain, he's got the blue arm there. This guy came out in one set in 2016, the TIE Striker set, and he goes for a good amount of money. He goes for about 25 bucks right now on Bricklink. In the middle here, we just have a Clatoonian Raider. This guy came out in 2019 in the ATST Raider set. He's pretty cheap. He goes for about $3 right now. So not a very desirable minifigure, but kind of cool looking. I enjoy it. His neck piece and his prints there are pretty decent. On the right here, we have the newest minifigure. We have Darth Vader. This one is specifically what Bricklink refers to as printed arms, traditional starched fabric cape, and white head with frown. So quite a mouthful. He has been released in 4 different sets, the Imperial Star Destroyer and the Darth Vader mech, as well as just a couple of other promotional sets. He was released in 2023 through 24 and is one of the cheapest Darth Vaders out there. You can get him for about $4, which a lot of other Darth Vaders, you know, are usually about around that $8 to $12 range just for like a very basic Darth Vader. So this one is actually pretty cheap to acquire secondhand. So I got some pretty good ideas for a couple of these guys, so I'm excited to dig in here. So without further ado, in the magic of editing, we'll just show you what I come up with. But real quick before I magically make the mocks appear before you, I do make these bases, just make a little vignette on. I make 2 of the same size ones here, and then a larger one, and it's just, you know, got some black tile around it to make it, you know, look nice and clean. Then obviously these filler bricks will be totally covered up. Also, I'd have no problem adding extra minifigures to the mocks as long as the minifigure we choose is the focal point of it. So I remember I made a few of these videos in the past. I'm like, oh, I can only use the one I use or one I drew, you know. But you know, it's more fun to add extra guys and spruce it up. Alrighty, so this is what I came up for the Shore Trooper. So I decided to do the bigger base of the 3 that I had built for the Shore Trooper because I wanted to encapsulate the grassy part of the beach, the sand shore, as well as the water. So we'll start kind of in the back. It's a very simple build, but we got the Shore Trooper patrolling the beaches of Scarif. I built some very simple palm trees with these rounded cylinder, or the cone pieces, and then the palm leaves on top. And man, dude, Brittle Brown was killing me.
You tripping, bro. You tripping.
I tried to, you know, just stack these, and I had to put these, you know, little stick pieces in, and I snapped like 3 or 4 of them in the process of doing it. So Brittle Brown is striking hard. So that's always super unfortunate when that happens. But then for the grass area, I tried to do a mottled color because the jungle is pretty diverse and lots of different greens. So I did the regular green, the dark green, the super bright green, as well as that the sand green, I think is what, no, not sand green. Man, I don't remember what color this is called, but you know, that one. Then I kind of did a small terrace beach here with the sands rolling onto the shore. Very simple. Wanted to keep it flat. Didn't want to do a whole lot of extra texture, so like this, but didn't want like little rocks or studs in the middle. And then for the water, I did some rolling waves. I just laid down some clear studs down at the top and then some trans blue beneath it. And then I tiled off with some regular trans blue and trans dark blue to, show different water depths. I do not have a lot of these pieces, which is why it's so small. So next time I do a bricklink haul, I might need to pick up a few more of those. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with how this one turned out. It's a very simple build, a beach build. But yeah, we got the shore trooper patrolling the beach and it turned out really well. So next up I have the Klatooinian Raider. And this one I actually really struggled with trying to figure out what to do for this guy because, the big scene with them is like charging into the river and, attacking the village. But I use a lot of my water pieces for this shore trooper, so I had to come up with something else. So I tried to build a little bit of their camp before they go attack the village. So I used the dark green for the forest. It's a dark forest. There's a little path here. I did a lot of slope pieces, or not slope, but the rounded off edges there to kind of create a dirt path in the middle. We got I imagined that they would have, a lot of wood and some metal. So I have wooden gates with the torches, some pikes in the ground. That's what these are representing. But they also have some metal crates in the back there. I threw in the other Klatooinian Raider because why not? He's warming his hands by the fire. And then the trees in the background, I had a lot of fun trying to, do a different style of tree building. And I believe I'd seen this somewhere else, but it's like these tail pieces here. I just attached them into the ground and put some, dark green leaves on the top there. And they make it some good, some small trees or some large bushes. And then I also, put some vines in there to add a little more texture there. So yeah, maybe not the best build, but it came out pretty well, I think, in the end. And we gave the Klatooinian Raider a pretty decent little home for the day. And last and probably my favorite of the two is the Darth Vader. I decided to go for his very iconic hallway scene from Rogue One. So we got two Rogue One builds in this one. But we have Darth Vader coming down the hallway of the Tantive 4 and just slaughtering the rebels. So I did a quick, rewatch of this scene, and it's actually really, really bare. The hallway, it looks very flat, not a whole lot going on. That's actually exactly how the hallway looks in the movie. They kind of have this angled, wall here, except in the movie, it's just totally angled up instead of, in and out. But I didn't have enough of these, slope pieces to do that. So I kind of did a little creative liberty, but we still got a nice little curve in there. We have the Rebel Trooper, trying to get the plans through the door, but Darth Vader is holding the door just slightly open, trying to give him hope. I put a little control panel, but we have Darth Vader, of course, coming through and killing all the rebels. We got a rebel force pushed against the wall, and another one, taking a knee, trying to take Darth Vader out while his friends are getting the plans away. But of course, ends up failing. I had a lot of fun with this build. Been wanting an excuse to build Darth Vader's hallway scene for a while now. I think eventually I might try and do it properly with the correct, wall slopes and everything, and make it much larger. Make the whole hallway instead of just the very end here. But this one, I think, turned out really well. For how plain it is, I really enjoy this one. Alrighty, that finishes up the next round of random number generator mock builds. I think I had a lot of fun building these ones. The Darth Vader one, I think, is a standout, or I at least had the most fun building. But I think the Shore Trooper one maybe looks the best. I think the water and jungle sections came out pretty well. The Klatooinian Raider one was interesting, was a bit of a challenge to build, so I always enjoy a new challenging build. But yeah, these guys were good picks, I think, this time around, and I'm excited to keep this little mini series continuing and use different guys on my wall, because a lot of them just sit up there and don't get used very often. So this allows some very random guys to get the limelight and a little spotlight shown on them. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to join the Emperor's Legion, and I will see you.